And that's when that guy said to me, dude, that's not a horse. That's my wife. We're on live.
So I'm going to stop the broadcast now. Good night, everybody. I'm going to make him tell the first part of that joke before the end of the podcast, so you better come up with something good. Anyway, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Figure Action, Episode 5, coming at you Friday night. And if someone knows the date, because I forgot to look it up, August 3rd, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'll be your host, Partsformer. My name's Matt. With me tonight is the crew. We have True Star Screamer.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
There you go. We have the owner, operator, CEO, and CFO of T-Man 978 Reviews, T-Man 978.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing?
Hello.
And we're going to watch him chew for a few minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mesmerized.
I'm getting home so I can get to eat.
And special guest tonight, we have a guest host with us because we wanted to have him, and he is going to be a great guest. Tim K, say hello.
Hello. What's going on?
What's going on, guys? How you been? How's your week?
Oh, week of changes for me.
How so?
Tendered my resignation in today for my current job and got a start date for my new job on the 20th.
Very nice.
So,
all welcome changes?
All welcome changes.
Okay, good.
What's that?
My week.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say my week has been nuts. I got to be on a jury trial, which was fun for 3 days. And then this morning, somebody kamikaze my mom's back fence with their car.
So we share. We mentioned before we share an online ongoing chat, and sometime today he posted a video of a car through a fence. So that's what that was about.
Damn.
I thought like part of the house fell off or something.
We should point out that T-Man does live in Baltimore, which has some interesting crime ratings. So
I don't think
this
that
was
qualify,
crazy,
would it? That was just old man through a fence, right?
No. Yeah, it was just an old man.
Is that what
he wasn't running from the police?
Is that what your haul is going to be for this week? A new fence? Or?
Yeah, I guess.
So speaking of hauls, anybody chime in? What'd you guys get this week?
Yeah. Okay. For me, I didn't get something for quite a while, but I'm expecting tomorrow to get my first Storm collectibles. I'm getting the San Diego Comic Con exclusives, Ermac and Shin Akuma by Storm Collectibles. So, Mortal Kombat rabbit hole officially opened.
What do you think of that Goro?
That Goro looks friggin' sweet, and I will get that too down the line. Shao Kahn also. I will have a pretty much, I don't know, like a villain display and all the Pally swap ninjas. Also want to ditch the Mortal Kombat plate and put on the Mortal Kombat 1.
Storm is going to get so much of my money in the next couple of years with all their announcements.
You tell me, man, you tell me.
King of Fighters, Tekken, World Heroes 2, Jet. I mean, they're hit, and then Fist of the North Star. Oh my gosh, it's going to be some awesome stuff.
And then we hit on last week. Where's the Darkstalkers stuff? I bought some of those.
Yeah, true. I mean, I like that they actually tackle all the beat 'em up stuff and also wrestling. Since they did Hulk Hogan, I'm kind of hoping for a real good 1-6 Ultimate Warrior somewhere down the line. That would be a definite pickup for me.
Sounds good. T-Man, what'd you get? Besides dinner.
I just walked in the house, so I just got I think this is, what is his name? I think it's blue. What is the orange? I mean the yellow. I'll see what his name is. Once I open it.
It's a live unboxing.
Repugnant.
Wow, Repugnant. Nice.
Oh, cool.
I also got a Marvel Legends Black Knight, which I do not know where I just put him. And this isn't officially mine, and I know we're not supposed to talk about it yet, but Nate Simmons let me hold his masterpiece Dinobot.
MP
Cool.
Dinobot in the house.
Yeah, we can talk about him a little bit. I know Zero's probably going to have a bunch to say, but we can always go back over it. No problem.
Hold on, let's ask him. Zero, do you have any protest? Exactly, go ahead.
No, he's on the beach somewhere, so why would he have any protest whatsoever?
Both face sculpts are awesome and look like they jumped right out of the cartoon, which I love. But the bad part is both ankles, robot mode and dinosaur mode, are weak as crap.
Hence the stand.
Like they're very loose. Like he has super tight ratchets everywhere else in his body except the ankles, which is nuts.
Yeah, that I already heard. That seemed to be a problem through the whole production run. I heard that already.
And I think they knew that. That's why they gave the stand, right? At least that's what people are saying.
That's what I'm thinking. So for me, he feels like he was a masterpiece from before MP10 era. So I guess the beast mode guys are gonna have to go through the same steps that the original G1 guys went through. Or maybe 10 years from now, they're gonna be way better.
You'll have a Dinobot version 2. Everybody's going to be selling off that one for.
You know what? That'll be the Dinobot Plus.
Yeah, probably.
Well, he might be the repaint of Grimlock with the spots all over his body. Remember that?
All right, Dave, what'd you get this week?
Well, I got some cool stuff. First of all, I know he's not here, but I do have to thank Mr. Extra Zero because he got me my Hunger and Ripper Snapper, which I currently have in my fake up gorilla mode right now. I've got to say this is probably some of the most awesome stuff Hasbro has put out for a bit. And I know I give Hasbro a lot of trash talk, but I absolutely love this set. And I can't wait to build. Still got to get around to building Abominus. Got a lot of nice grooves on here, so my panel lining pin is very hungry.
Ah, you got one of the official Gundam lining sets, or what?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm a panel lining freak, man. I've panel lined Studio Starscream. I panel lined Mysterio. Oh god, that entire quilted guy. And then of course. If you're following me on my Instagram, you know I've been repainting the bikes, so I've been having a lot of fun on just doing the custom repaints.
True.
If he's watching, I got some shout-outs to some people I met earlier today when I was picking up my other haul. Some guys really like the paints I did for the bikes. But I also got the complete Apocalypse Wave right here.
Jealous.
So I'm going to have my Instagram at True Star Screamer is going to be quite busy. I cannot wait. I know I've seen some pictures I've seen some photos going around on some of the Marvel Legends sites of people repainting Sabretooth, putting a little bit of a wash on his face, and it really brings out the details. So I cannot wait to do this. Put a little bit of wash on his collar.
Yeah, he definitely needed it.
Well, T-Man, it reminds me of what you used to say about the Hasbro Star Wars figures, that the sculpt is there, but the paint wasn't quite. And what I saw this one guy did to the Sabretooth, the sculpt is beyond there. It just needs a little bit of love. And I'm a little scared to do it, but it's going to be a fun challenge of making this guy look just that much more awesome.
But all the current Legends really look good.
Oh.
Their sculpt work had really put up a notch. Really good.
One of the guys there had Omega Red, and he was just kind of showing him off. That figure has the butterfly joints in the shoulders, so he's going to be so friggin' posable for photography. I am very excited.
I know Big Bad just got the Sauron figures in stock. At least I had one in my pile of loot, just went in stock today. So they're hitting, if not already have hit.
Oh, a fun thing I learned at GameStops and ThinkGeek, while they have 90% of the X-Men waves out there, they actually don't have Psylocke figures.
Why specifically her?
Because because the running change of from black hair to purple hair.
Okay.
So
No, I still have a Wolverine on pre-order through them that I don't remember doing, and I didn't put any money towards, so I need to cancel that at some point.
But yeah, so I will say, if you find the purple-haired Psylocke, that's going to be the one that's going to be the one everyone's going nuts for in the next for a little bit.
But
Yeah,
that,
the black hair. The black hair, not purple. Get the black hair.
yeah, okay. I was going to say
black.
it's changing to
Sorry.
the purple. Yeah,
I
okay.
apologize. I apologize. My mistake.
Okay. Then as for me, I've been on vacation all week. Came home early because my wife had to go into work. So I hit by Target to see if I had anything I could pick up for today. And I also jumped again on the Marvel Legends bandwagon, and I got my Storm. I actually customized her a little bit. So there's my Storm.
Ah.
And that's really all I have this week for my haul. So
that's your Storm collectible.
This is my Storm collectible. Thank you. Yeah. Y'all laughing at that? What's going on here?
I'm in.
I want to see that gorilla mode up close. So remember, send me a picture of that.
So let's go on. Let's see about topics for this week. So I think the big news that I want to hit on is the big reveal of the new Masterpiece figures. I mean, we knew they were in for something, right? Because they had been talking about it seemed like last year they had new Masterpiece figures hit every month almost.
Yes.
And then it seemed like news went dead for a while, and then they were pushing out the Beast Wars stuff, and then the pluses, and then all of a sudden here we go. We get Wheeljack, Prime, and Hound. Which the Hound I am super excited about, and let me try. I can screen share here, maybe. So bear with me.
Yeah, but I gotta say that Hound that looks really good. I never was that big of a Hound fan, so I'm more psyched about Prime because Prime looks straight out of the cartoon. Looks.
I am absolutely that Prime's engineering looks gorgeous.
Yes.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah, it looks good.
Is that screen sharing? Okay, good.
I've got a feeling those shoulders are actually going to be able to move in and out, so you can actually hide some of that. But it's just going to give a great range for photography and such.
You think they'll collapse into the torso?
I'm thinking they kind of pull out for transformation.
No, they can collapse. There's another picture in that set where you're actually in. When you click up on the link up above on the Masterpiece Optimus V3 images, yeah. Okay, those are old ones. There are pictures. There are pictures of another pose of him where those circular shoulder joints are actually inside the torso again. So it looks more closed off again. But what they've said,
I've seen that picture before.
Yeah, but what they've said for range and for photography, that will be golden, really glorious.
And I know there was an aerial shot of his backpack, and it really didn't look. It looked fine to me. I mean,
yes.
It looked cartoon accurate to me.
Yeah, and then I know this waist portion people were kind of losing their shit about because they thought it'd be like a one big skirt piece, and it definitely isn't.
I don't know, man. It's the same topic all over. It's also when T-Man showed us Dinobot. I'm a guy who rambles on, so I'm keeping it short. But hey, if you want to do cartoon accurate, like a Dinobot, that's an organic form. You want to have a robot in an organic Dinobot form, and you want to transform it. What else you gonna get? Panels, and you have bulky Primes and you have bulky Megatrons. I mean, my favorite example for that is always if you put MP36 besides McToy's Desprotron. What are the two things that set those things apart? It's always that Desprotron has bulk. What makes bulk? Space. So you can put all the things in there and have no panels. But Megatron is cartoon accurate. He's slimmer everywhere. So you gotta have to put all those parts another way, anyway. And that's where the back comes into play. And the same is with Optimus Prime. I mean, look at that alternate mode. How are you gonna turn that alternate mode in a slim-looking Prime we know from the show? That's
Which craft?
Yeah, exactly. That engineering is essentially witchcraft. That's exactly my words.
Speaking of some of the other releases, we got some comments in the chat talking about the Golden Lagoon figures as well, which is just for me the retirement line.
Yeah.
Oh, the last ditch effort
Yeah.
to scrape any cash up from the release.
So
See, and we've got the plus wheel jack, which I think looks good if you didn't get it the first time. I dig the gray shading. It's fine.
Yeah, it looks good. It's not for me, but it looks good.
Right. That's my feeling the same. But at least those who want options get options.
Yeah.
I want it, but I don't want to pay for it.
That's a problem.
If I could trade in my original and get that for free, I would love it.
That's collecting in a nutshell, isn't it?
Yeah.
And here's the guy that I am most excited about, because Hound is one of my favorite characters, and I think T asked this earlier: is how in the hell does that head get in the middle of that hood?
Yes.
have you seen the pictures from the back?
Well,
I haven't seen that.
Okay, not yet.
So the head is actually on an armature.
Yeah,
Okay.
on the windshield, essentially.
So it actually is, and I know for the people who are listening to this on iTunes, they're not going to see my arm doing it, but it's actually an arm that slides in the middle of the hood. So it's like it's on a stick. Like the easiest way to do it. Unfortunately, I know I'm showing on a camera, but it's like how my flashlight is here.
Yeah.
You know who's like that? Maki Toy's Downbeat. He's just like that.
Really?
The armature comes from like the front of the windshield, and it sits into his in between his shoulders. But it's not flat like that Hound though. That Hound, I can't see. You can't even see the seams or anything.
And I think it's really a nod to fans' toys of how well they did with their Willis, because I mean this thing looks like Willis. As it should, because Willis was so good, close to the original concept, the original animation.
What makes me mad is he looks more posable than Willis, and I see the ab crunch, and that makes me want it.
Now I don't own Willis, but you said that it has ankle problems, right?
Yeah, it has horrible ankle problems. They're weak as crap.
So hopefully that's not an issue here. But man, he looks the part. Like, we're already past the point where these characters are getting the older characters are getting their plus releases. So we're already in the anime accurate era. So so now a plus release for Hound later is going to be the friggin' toy version. But at least now, if you're going for your anime accurate shelf, here he is. I mean, this guy walked off the freaking screen. In my book, for my money, like, he's pre-ordered wherever the hell I can get him from. Amazon Japan, I hope. He's good.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I think Wonderfest also dropped the ball a little bit to show the toy version of Megatron, because I love how MP36 Plus looks. That toy Megatron, all the chrome. I'm a sucker for chrome.
Chrome's a funny thing too, because you can go either way. I mean, I've heard some people hate it and some people swear by it. I don't mind it either way, but I'm glad to hear somebody that really loves it.
Yeah, I'm all over it. But hey, since we're doing toy photography, Chrome is a sucker to actually shoot okay, and also if you want to do a review, fingerprints.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So you got to wipe that shit down constantly.
That's what I say. When I saw that, I feel like if I had gotten that figure, I'd be like Kuma style handling a Sentinel figure, where I see him with the white gloves on.
That's what I'm doing. White gloves. Wipe once, gloves, and you're done. Works. It's not like Sex Panther. 70% of the time it works every time. No, that works 100% of the time.
If I got that figure, I would have to get the trigger upgrade crotch.
Yeah.
So it'll be really G1, toy accurate.
Yeah.
That comes with the toy face, right? That angry eyebrow toy face.
Yeah.
Oh, the weird eyebrow.
Not that's this good.
Guy, though.
Man, I love Megatron. I just put him from the shelf today. That is such a good toy. I don't get one bit of the hate. I'm sorry.
I don't either. All I want is posability. I don't care about the panels and whatnot.
No.
He's like a real toy and not like a Transformer. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
I mean, he's like a real action figure.
Yeah. You can get crazy range of all of this. You can do whatever you want essentially.
I don't own him,
Yeah.
but I wish I did because he looks good.
Well, get him. That could have been your more of the haul this week.
Well,
What
but
guess?
they want you to pay for things.
Bummer.
I mean, it's not my idea. I mean, fuck that. I mean, like
Get
T
the knockoff.
said, I want to collect it, but I don't want to pay for it.
Mm.
Let me see.
Get the knockoff.
Well, yeah, that's true. What's the knockoff for it? It's like $100 now, isn't it? 110, something like that.
I think so.
Yeah, I think from all those things, I think the Destruction Mac 10 or the Infinite Transformation actually the best for buck, because you get those additional faces also,
And the English voice chip.
Yeah, right, that one too. Although I miss on every single Megatron that is out there the American fusion cannon sound. Not one company did that right. Not one.
I think they should have just paid Frank Welker to do some new clips.
I mean, he voices every other goddamn thing in the world. Why not go back and do Megatron again? I mean, even if they can do it over the phone, just call him in and be like, "Hey, you got good cell reception. Can you say these lines for us? We'll PayPal you something."
Yeah, or you do it the cheap Hot Toys approach and do it like they did on At 209, where you have a pitched down Japanese dude speaking his best English doing the RoboCop lines.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
that actually happened. You can find clips on there. At 209 from Hot Toys, the 2.0 doesn't have the original clips, but instead, yeah, like I said, pitched down Japanese dude.
So they went all out, is what you're saying.
Totally.
Let me see. Let me look at the show notes here. Transformers Siege packaging reel and possible Cybertron defense hotshot. I don't have that picture on my PC here, but I can bring up a shot of the packaging.
yeah, I saw that.
Whose note was that?
In the drive.
I saw it.
Hey,
you probably did. It was a lot of you, yeah. So, let me see if I can get a good shot of this.
God, my wallet's going to hate me on this line.
Yeah.
So there's a shot of the packaging there, and then, let me see.
I gotta say that Siege line looks pretty good.
Yes, it does.
I mean that Magnus. I mean, it's not the biggest scale, but when I look at the pictures of the bot mode, that's a good masterpiece alternative if the scale is right.
Well, I just like the gimmick of all the small figures or the Target Masters. It's almost like this is what I wanted Armada to be that whole time.
So here's
this
a
is
question.
what I want to.
With Combiner Wars and Power of the Primes and the lines that we've already had come out, I'm looking at these and I'm like, if they're all the characters that come out are half as good as the ones we've seen, and we haven't even seen any Decepticons yet that I'm aware of. If the rest of them look this good, like I'm regretting a whole bunch of purchases from the last few lines. I wish. I don't know, like I like having one or two representatives of a character like that, and I'm thinking like I went and got the Headmaster versions of a bunch of characters that aren't Headmasters, and now it looks like we're going to be getting a bunch of them like for real. Like here's Hound, that is no longer someone's arm or leg; it's an actual, honest to God Hound with effects. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the effects, like the slash effects and all. Yeah,
right. Like Figure Arts doesn't even give effects half the time when they should be. And here's every character, every weapon has some kind of blast or swooshing effect. I'm blown away. And then the Micromasters, I can't tell you how excited I am about having my Micromasters again.
Yeah, Micromasters was my jam back in the day.
And I mean, you know, a few of those in your pocket, man, and you can just play in your pocket all night long. You know.
Not touching that one.
Transformers on my pocket. New brand.
Well, what's also nice about that, though, is it takes care of the scale angst.
Yeah.
As opposed to Legends and such. It's like, hey, they're Micromasters. They're supposed to be smaller.
Right, it makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I can't wait to get the Micromasters.
Yeah.
Micromasters were one of my favorite things when I was smaller. And now that they actually have legs that aren't connected, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, the posing wasn't exactly good.
Just that little bit of posability really adds something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think with that line, Hasbro pretty much went all out. I mean, with what you said, Combiner Wars, Power the Primes, Titans Return, those were all rehashes, and I don't know how many slight remolds and how many repaints that Aerial Bot Skydive actually got with I don't know with Dreadwind and Darkwing, Skydive, and I don't know how many else more. And with those, so many original molds, that was a good call, for me at least.
It gets me as excited like when Prime came out. I love Prime. Like all those lines.
I'm having the little problem with this alternate mode, you know? The whole
No. I'm sorry, I meant the Transformers Prime line of figures.
Ah, okay. Oh.
Like when I saw Starscream, Dreadwing, what's Bulkhead? Not Bulkhead. All those figures in general. The Ultra Magnus.
The awesome Soundwave reimaging as the drone. That was that I still have that figure on my desk at work.
But I mean, I remember when I saw that line and saw those images, I was like, dude, this is going to be awesome. And it was mostly awesome. And then I'm seeing this and I'm expecting awesome, and I think I'm going to get awesome.
It looks awesome.
They better be for the price they cost them.
And we get one of the joints are now looser than...
Oh, horrible! Yeah.
Stock up on floor polish.
I mean, I hope they're gonna do something good, because when I remember that new Rodimus Prime from the Power of the Primes, I mean, when I looked at the first pictures, that looked really good, and I actually thought about getting him, doing a little something like panel lines and anything, and maybe put him up in my masterpiece display. But then I heard all the reports with the loose joints, and when you actually see the hot rod thighs are his shoulders, and it was kind of weird. It was
I don't hate that figure, but
did you buy him?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get the Unicron version, but yeah, I got the leader one.
I skipped both of them. I'm scared to buy it. I'm scared I won't like it. But I definitely want Optimal Optimus. I don't know when that's going to be on shelves, if it isn't already.
I haven't seen anybody say. I don't know. I only follow a few like breaking news toy accounts. I haven't seen it mentioned, but what the hell do I know? Let's see.
Yeah, Matrix got one.
Look at the list. Bumblebee merch.
I played with his.
Let's see. Let me bring this one up. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
What do we think?
I want that.
The new 2018 Bumblebee movie, the reissue of the Optimus Prime.
Oh, I like that gun.
With the upgraded stuff.
Yeah,
this is the evasion mode Optimus Prime with some new tooling, some new paint, new weaponry. The hands look articulated. He looks pretty good.
I want to sell my evasion.
He's a little bit taller. Even though he's a Voyager, he's a little bit taller than the evasion mode, from what I heard. And it's compatible with the MP10 trailer, which is nuts.
That's cool. Yeah, I see chrome bits on it too. So it looks like they're going in on these these movie figures.
Do you think that they're going to release them in the U.S.?
Say it again.
With those same colors? Do you think they're going to release them in the U.S. with the same colors?
Well, we've seen Hasbro and Takara. The distance between them seems to be getting shorter and shorter, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, especially with the studio series being, isn't it a joint release of both of them? It's got both names on the boxes. Is that true? Right? I don't have
Yeah,
any.
but
So
this one's weird because I can see that's like a Japanese box. So it's like, why do they need to set? I mean, why do they need to sell it separately? Which is weird.
and look at that,
That's what's scaring me.
it's got a face swap gimmick too. It's got
I
a
wonder how
plated
tall
and
it's gonna be.
still, I don't know. It looks good. Let me see. I think they had a few other pictures from some of the other.
I can't find a fault in that, except that it's not on my shelf.
Yeah.
All in due time and with enough currency, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's some of the rest. We got the old Bumblebee. I don't have a picture here right now of the new the Volkswagen Bumblebee, but I think we showed it before. If not, you guys can look it up. But I don't know,
I
man.
can't wait to get that.
Yeah, you're in on that. Are any of you guys in on these figures? From what you've seen, anyway. No. Yes.
Yeah.
Only problem I have with that movie Bumblebee is no ankle pivot. But other than that, he looks good.
Okay.
That'll definitely be a good desk spot.
That actually brings me to a question. Desk spot, and I mentioned one before. You guys that have desks at work, as soon as I stop screen sharing, do you guys have desk spots? Do you keep the same desk spots? Do you change them out? Do you mess with them at all? Do they sit static? Talk. Anybody?
Star Screamer, you go first.
Hey, oh, we lost Tim. Actually, in my office, the one I'm leaving, I didn't have any desk spots, but I had a couple of the Loyal Subjects Street Fighter figures. Those little single-jointed guys.
Oh, yeah.
If I honestly, in my office, I don't trust my coworkers, to be honest. So
is that one of the reasons why you're leaving?
there's a yes, that would be on the list.
Okay.
But so I didn't keep anything too crazy there. So, but I would mess with they were just good, they were like my fidget cube. Just something to mess with.
That's bad. Did you work in like a professional type place?
I worked with a recruiting agency, so it was kind of like a bullpen, and there's just it attracts an interesting group of personalities. I'll leave it at that.
Where I'm working now, I haven't had a lot of desk spots. I used to have my MPP-10V, the Voyager class MP-10. I used to have him sitting there, but then I've taken him home recently. So now I take something to work and bring it home the same day because I don't want to leave it. Not because I think somebody's going to steal it, but at my other job, we had a lot of traffic coming into there, and I used to keep my my Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime there, the leader class one, just sitting there, and nobody messed with it, luckily. But only thing I have at work now is like a Moppies Black Panther, a Drift Funko Pop from Age of Extinction, and I did have the Lando from the new Han Solo movie sitting there. I had him there since I bought him until I got Killmonger, Marvel Legends Killmonger. I was supposed to be doing like a comparison with him, showing like two African American characters with a good face print. But then I forgot to even compare Lando. So that was a waste of time, and I need to take him back to work.
It's a closed area behind lock and key, so I can pretty much have whatever I want on there. It sucks too because I used to have a coworker that worked with me that collected third party and a bunch of the same stuff. So he was really excited when I brought anything new I got usually cycled through for at least a day. So he was always real hyped to see it, mess with it. And he would bring in stuff too, but he's since moved on to another position, so it's just me and my lonesome with these figures on my desk. So nobody pays any attention to them. Nobody cares. So I usually I've got the the recent movie Megatron that came out. The what the hell was the last movie? That's how much.
Oh dear God, why did I watch this?
What's that?
The oh dear God, what am I watching?
Yes, I've got that he's like one of the only movie figures that I actually like. Yeah, the Last Night Megatron, and what else? Oh, and the Prime Soundwave. Like I said, because I work for a defense company, so it kind of made sense to have the drone on my desk. So, that's just a question that came to mind. I was going to put it in the notes, but I figured I might as well just spring you guys on it and see what you said. Now, Dave, you sent pictures of this to the chat earlier today, and it captured my attention quite well.
It captured my heart.
Yes. And can you guys see that?
Yeah, it got his attention.
So there she is, and she's beautiful. For the people, sorry, and I got to remember the people that are listening audio. This is the Revoltech Psylocke that's coming out. A bunch of promotional images, at least, are new to me. I know we saw her on display at the convention, but these are new shots, and
yeah, I think these just came out today.
And holy shit, like these things.
We'll get them on our Instagram, right?
I mean that hair, man. Like what's happening there? That's crazy.
This figure, I love the Revoltechs. I've got them all except Carnage because unfortunately I missed him. I missed the boat on him. I usually get my stuff through Toy Ninja, and I just missed a shot on that one. But this is probably Revoltech's best figure to date. The face looks fantastic. I know it has an anime look. As you mentioned, the hair is going to be articulated. The Revoltech joints are perfectly hidden, which for Revoltech is insane. She's got this purple, for those listening, she's got this purple crystalline hair that starts with a deep purple and then just fades to the transparent. She has an articulated waist belt and this dark blue sapphire bodysuit that just looks freaking awesome.
I mean, yeah, the clothes just shine off of her. I mean, you know. But like, and this is so. I brought up a picture for those that are listening of her standing straight up and down at kind of like a sassy pose with her psychic sword thing. Forgive me, I don't know the name. That's shooting out from her hand. This has always been the problem, at least as far as I'm concerned, with Revoltech, is that the figures look fantastic in dynamic poses, but you can't, when you have them standing in a static position, they look awful. Their proportions are off. The joints really show. Again, this is just as far as I've seen, like with the Wolverine and Magneto and all that came out, especially, and the Spider-Man too, I think was the most rampant with the problems. This of her standing straight up and down, like this is nuts. This looks perfect. This looks amazing, and I think I'm in on her.
Yeah, I agree with y'all on that. Like her articulation looks nice, and her proportions, the joints are well hidden, just like Starscreamer said. And I didn't even think about it earlier, but she just looks way better than the other ones.
And you're right, she does have an anime look to her, but I'm fine with that. She looks like she comes with 4 faces. 2 look pissed off, 2 look smiley. I would say the only thing they're missing out on is probably like a shouting action kind of face. Oh, yeah. But you know, whatever it is, she comes with, looks like 4 swords unsheathed. 2 are powered up with psychic energy and have this pink and purple hue. 2 are just normal, looks like just metallic, and then 1 is in the sheath or the scabbard. And a couple of hand poses, 2 psychic conjured sword things, of which I don't know the names.
I think they're like psionic blades or something.
Psionic, yeah. That sounds awesomely official. Yes, we'll go with that.
It's a psychic knife.
So am I.
And actually, I think she has 2 faces, because with the Revoltech Magneto, you could actually adjust the eyes.
Okay.
So I think that picture is actually showing the eyes changing different directions.
Okay. Then she's got 2 faces, 1 pissed off with eyes looking around, and 1 sort of smug.
You know, looking at her face again, she's not too far off from Marvel Legends, because I'm about to call her Miss Fantastic. Invisible Woman kind of looks like this face right here.
I'm looking for her. Here, got her right. So that's my.
Did we totally
my
lose Tim?
Did we what?
I think so.
Totally lose Tim?
Yeah, I just talked to Tim. He was messing with. He had ISP issues earlier this week, or was changing providers. I can't remember which. He just texted me and said that basically his entire internet is down. A full restart didn't help, so he's gonna have to peace out tonight. But we'll have him on again.
Thank you, Tim.
ASAP. Yes, thanks, Tim. We definitely have tons of questions we never got to you to ask you. But the time that we did spend was lovely. So thank you.
It's in my heart. It's locked in my heart.
And we will have you on again very, very soon. I hope you got every bit of enjoyment out of it as we could possibly muster.
Yeah.
So there you go with that. So let me see. But yes, that the Revoltech Psylocke, I think she's going to be put on my list of must-gets. She looks amazing.
I've been thinking of it just been kind of doing the Street Fighter versus X-Men characters. That's what it's been feeling like.
Yeah.
And these companies, man, they're going for the jugular. I mean, who do you go with anymore? Even companies before that had questionable joints or questionable paint apps, they're all coming in strong now. It's like you really don't have a bad choice. It's just which aesthetic do you like the best?
There's enough of us bitching on social media that they better get their act together. We're bad advertisement.
It's funny you say that. That's been, almost every company has been kicking it into high gear on QC. And again, this is just my opinion, except for one. Figuarts has actually feels like it's gone a little backwards.
Oh, no.
I can't deny that on some of the releases I bought. I don't know. I agree with you. I had the Luke Skywalker, Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker on pre-order that I actually canceled because of all the reports of the wrist joints breaking.
If you guys watched the video last week, I'm messing around with Akuma, and while you guys are talking, his arm popped off on me while I was messing around with him, and I was trying to prepare him during the show. I have never had that happen with a Figuart.
Have you had any other issues, Starscream?
I haven't bought, with the exception of the Street Fighters, I haven't bought a Figuart in over almost a year and a half. I haven't bought any of the Kamen Rider figures. I haven't bought any of the MCU stuff. I've just been kind of watching some of the reviews. There's... Oh, wait, no, I bought Deadshot. And Deadshot kind of let me down a little. Especially when compared to the Mathex.
Only thing I don't like about him is when you try to articulate his abs, that armor that's on his stomach keeps popping off because the ball joint is so tiny.
Well, I got that. He doesn't have all the details, like the Mafax. He's got the writing on his collar. All those hard-molded weapons that should have been removable holsters.
Oh, yeah, that did piss me off. But it's Will Smith, and I like that.
Yeah.
And the face looked good on it, right? I mean, the face looked like Will Smith.
Well, I keep him masked. I mean, I like that. I like that Deadshot mask.
I want to, but when I look at that Will face, it's like, don't put the mask on me. Don't put the mask on.
Well, listen, you hear about the Dark Knight figure? That one was a letdown. The actual in the Justice League, the Ben Affleck Batman one, that was supposed to be a horrible one. So yeah, everybody is moving forward except Figuarts. They seem to kind of take a step back.
And I can speak to that too with some of the Dragon Ball releases. I know the materials used on the Majin Vegeta that just came out, people, and I'm all right with it. It seems fine to me on my limited collecting of them so far. Is that the finish on it seems they're going for like a shinier plastic, kind of a shinier finish when it doesn't have that matted good look that the previous figures had. And I guess the same sounds like it's also true for the new Goku figure that I'm waiting on BBTS to drop, that I have on pre-order. And also too is the accessory count. As I said before, like the Goku Black came out, and it had a hand effect, energy effect, like an energy blade, and it had he's charging Kamehameha, which was great. And what used to happen with a lot of figure arts, when now, like, of all the ones that I've collected so far, I think maybe 2 have had any kind of like really extra accessories besides the normal couple hands that you get in extra faces. I don't know. I sort of hit. I don't want to retread from last week, but like that's sort of what also drives me with the whole Black Series versus figure arts Star Wars collecting, is that, and I'm beginning to retread, is that if the faces look just as good, like, what's stopping me from going with that over the figure arts? Especially like you said, if the QC is going down a little bit, then, you know, you guys got to convince me. You got to bring me back. When you got Mafex and Reveltech and all these other guys that are spitting out these high quality figures that before weren't that good a figure, or had a lot of problems that people had issue with, that are cleaning it up. They're new releases. They're fixing. They're listening to feedback. I don't know. It sounds like, and it's a great time to be a collector because you have so many options.
I don't have a lot of figure arts, but aren't they doing now where they have like a basic release that just comes with hands and maybe one extra face, and then they come out with a second release that has a bunch of more accessories?
They do that on occasion, yeah.
It's actually a lot with the U.S. versus the Japanese release.
Right.
Bluefin has to do it. That's why Star-Lord, Doctor Strange, I think there was like one or two others. They came with those extra things that had to take the price point up another $20. I think Spider-Man, he came with the wall, because that was like, they were throwing those add-ons. That's how Bluefin was able to secure the rights to distribute it here in the U.S.
Well, that's cool. So the U.S. ones are higher than the Japanese.
Yes, but then you also get those. I mean, an effect set, like an effect flame set, retailed when they came out new was like $15, $18. So, which I still need to get the boulders, but I digress. You add that to a $60 figure, that's a $75, $80 figure right there. So it balances out. You're getting your money's worth.
Yeah. We're just cheap, man. Partsformer.
We are. We are cheap.
Well, I was going to be like that, and then, well, you know, kind of segue a little. I ended up buying the Mafex Homecoming Spider-Man, because then I got my hands on that, and that thing is like jaw-dropping amazing. And that Mafex comic Spider-Man, I need.
The Venom too, right? They showed a Venom as well.
I don't know if you got the pics on that, but yeah, the Venom.
I should. They're right here. Amazingly, if you guys just talk for a few minutes, I'll have those right now.
But yeah, the Mafex display. Someone joked around here about my response to Psylocke about having particular reactions, Nightwingham. That Mafex gave me such a fan attention. It was, you can't even laugh at it. They've got this comic accuracy line. Spider-Man looks amazing, but Venom is dead on McFarlane Venom. Every which way, shape, and form. It looks like Spider-Man 300.
And what a difference it makes to have it as a clean Venom, because the last like 10 Venom releases we've gotten really have not been, they've been tendrils and all this craziness coming off. You know, this is a nice, clean looking McFarlane Venom, like you said, that just looks fantastic as it is. It's like it's letting the figure shine without all this extra stuff spilling off of it.
It's kind of funny seeing them release a Venom like that, because I'm not used to other companies doing a clean action figure that just basically almost looks like a Marvel Legend with more articulation. Or I'm assuming more articulation.
Oh, it'll have more articulation. And that Deadpool, I mean, I passed on the Figma. And, you know, it was a little too small for the scale, you know, for my collection taste.
It had some weird proportions too, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, that Deadpool actually has the same proportions.
Oh, okay.
I think Robo from the Floosh may have mentioned it, but they think that when they sent the specs, everybody got the same image, the same spec, so everyone's got the same ones, kind of scaling it.
Okay.
But that guy looks amazing.
Do you think before we die, they're going to give us a 6-inch or 6 or 6.5-inch movie Deadpool?
before
Maybe
we
if I stop
die.
eating fried foods, it might happen. If I cut down on the fried foods, it might happen before I die.
I mean, they're giving every iteration of Deadpool they can possibly think of, so I guess just wait. Yeah.
It's been years. Come on. I thought the Figma one was the movie version at first until I paid attention to it closely. But that
Well,
one still looks good.
Consider this too. We don't know what the movie version is going to look like anymore with the buyout.
Oh yeah.
So that
I think
might
they'll let
change
Ryan
things.
Reynolds.
I
I think
hope
they're
not.
gonna let. They'll probably let the studio or the people that work. They'll keep the same workers probably and the same artists. And they might not change it that much
We can hope
unless
on
Ryan
most of it.
Reynolds wants to do a comic accurate outfit with tights, with latex. I mean,
I could see him doing that almost like a running gag of, hey, should I try this uniform out? Oh, no, it's too tight on the boys.
mhm.
I could see that happening way too easy.
It looks like,
But,
too, with the same picture, they've got, was it the Masked and Unmasked? We got Gwenpool, and then they've got, I'm not familiar with the Gwenpool in the back, though, I guess. I guess that's
Neither am
Gwenpool
I.
with the black suit with the cape. So if anybody knows, drop it in the comments, because I'm not entirely sure. It looks really cool. You know,
I thought she was a random DC character to be honest.
I think
I didn't even know.
It's like the
Gwenpool.
Dark Gwenpool or something like that.
Yeah.
But then look at that. If you look at that, you got the Mafex movie Spider-Man. I mean,
Yep.
the hardware looks so much better than the Figure Arts one. And then they got the Kingsman, which
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. I mean, they're just hanging out there at the bottom.
my wife loves Colin Firth, so I may end up buying that figure just to keep by the nightstand and, you know, keep my life a little more interesting.
That's and that's a thing. It certainly is.
Sorry, Nightwingham. You told me not to insult DC.
No, DC's great. They just got to get their shit together with their movies.
Oh, did you see the also the Revoltech that they're doing for the DC, the Deathstroke?
I did, and I have that
yeah.
picture ready to show if you guys talk for another minute.
Hey, Nate Simmons says that that's evil Gwenpool.
Thank you, Nate.
And he also said that the only difference between the DBZ US releases and Japanese releases is one comes in a brown shipper.
But yeah, I mean, when that Wonderfest was happening, I mean, you guys on the chat, I was just flooding the chat with pictures. I was having way. Oh yeah, this
There
figure
he is in all of his muscly goodness.
I mean, I know the photographers are going to be going crazy having him fighting the Revoltech Deadpool, but oh my god, it's such an awesome figure.
He doesn't skip leg day, that's for goddamn sure.
He doesn't skip any day.
There, let me see.
Thick.
Shoo! And that's impressive articulation there in the legs. That splits even with all that. I mean, it looks like it covers over on the joint and looks damn fine doing it. Alternate head looks good, man.
Mafex Spider-Man is up for pre-order, $95 on BBTS. That's what Nate says.
I may import him directly.
Figure Action says that other retailers are available, but
unless they decide to sponsor us, then we'll say that they're the ones to go for.
And then they're absolutely it. And I have all my pre-orders through them, and don't cancel most of them. Absolutely. If you look at my cancellation list on BBTS, it's just like this. It's just carnage. Yeah. It's just wreckage. Like there's just pages of cancellations.
Hold on, could you go back to the Deathstroke picture for a second?
I sure can.
All right.
Why do they keep your cancellation list? That's crazy.
Just to make you, just to shame you. It's just to shame you.
Notice they're showing the full I don't know why I never noticed it, because that Deathstroke is so awesome, but they have the full Justice League images behind them. I mean, they've got Batman coming out, so maybe there'll be a full Revoltech Justice League. I mean, with the Wonder Woman and all.
That would be good. I have more options for Wonder Woman. I'm down with that.
Sorry, I just was noticing that one.
The symbol on his chest almost looked like the Batfleck bat to me.
Right there.
Like the chainmail part, it looks like the bat almost.
Mm-hmm.
A Rebel Tech
I haven't
Cyborg would
seen
be
the bat
really
bat.
cool.
All right, go back here.
It would
And
make sense.
so let me see what else we got on our list. You guys
I've
have
seen
anything
those
else?
DC Icon figures.
Go ahead.
The new DC collectibles figures. I've seen them in person finally, but at the store I saw them. They were $30, and they are not worth $30. They don't even come with any accessories, barely.
Why the price?
They
Do
look
they have
nice, but
retooling,
they're
or
basic.
they have new joints, or what?
Yeah, they have thigh swivel, and I think they had boot swivel, and the Icons didn't have that.
So they're
They
almost
also
to
look-
Marvel Legends standards.
Yeah, they're Marvel Legends standards, but taller, and no accessories.
The problem with DC, the lady who's now in charge of the DC collectibles line, actually doesn't like action figures. She
That's
prefers statues. Like, she prefers to sell statues. She doesn't think action figures are a viable thing. So that's like they're almost dead. You know, they're dead on arrival, and that's why they don't
So
follow.
they need to hire somebody else then.
But that's
If that's the case.
in a way, yeah. I mean, because they've had some. I mean, Icons, I think, was actually a solid line if they kept it consistent. If they kept the scale consistent. The Bombshell line, I am in love with, and it's already dead. The Icons, the Icons, I know they were supposed to have a Booster Gold Blue Beetle 2-pack. That's already been canceled. You know, probably for the Essentials line.
What's a good price on the Bombshells? Because I was looking at the Batgirl, and she looks really nice.
And dude, they got double jointed elbows. They've got the ankle pivot. They've got the ab crunch. They've got everything you could want on a female figure.
And paint.
Yes, gorgeous paint.
And how many releases of those did they have, more or less?
I think they got 8, 10 maybe. Harley, Batgirl, Wonder Woman, Poison Ivy, Hawkgirl, Katana. I know I'm missing some.
Was Catwoman in there?
I don't think Catwoman got to the Bombshells.
Wow, that's crazy.
But
Harley makes it to everything.
Well, yeah.
I'm shocked there's not a Marvel Harley.
She's called Gwenpool.
Oh yeah, true, true.
There you go.
So she is everywhere.
All right, you guys want to get to? We've got 2 questions in here, and both of them are from Eyes Covered. First question he asked is, do you think Hasbro should have a Transformer line somewhere between Generations and Masterpiece, i.e. something with a higher parts count than Chug, but less engineering and accessory counts than an MP line? Not totally different from what Studio Series is now, but he said, Eyes Covered says he thinks that the Studio Series is lacking.
I think that's what that Siege line's pretty much going to be, to be honest.
That's what I feel the same way.
I mean, the Siege line is their official, is their Chug right now, right? I mean, that's going to be what the line's going to continue with.
Right.
Yeah.
But, like, that's
They have the
Sideswipe,
higher
man.
price point. Sorry. They have the higher price point like the Studio Series, and they have the more engineering and more paint like Studio Series. So I don't want to pay more money for an Optimus that's like Voyager class size than we're already paying.
And I wouldn't want to pay a little more for something half-assed. So, I mean, if I'm going to pay $15 for a piece of junk, I'll at least say, hey, it's $15 for a piece of junk. If I want to pay $30 for something mid-range, and if not, then that's what we got third-party Masterpiece for. So,
yeah.
And I said, you look at that Sideswipe, man. And compare him next to Masterpiece Sideswipe. They seem to have a lot of similar engineering.
They do from the looks of it. And the face sculpt looks nice. Now that I've seen better pictures of it up close on Sideswipe, it looks really good. It looks better than a Masterpiece to me.
So maybe is that enough for you guys? Is that enough to bridge the gap then? If their chug line coming out, if the Siege stuff say is less hollow areas, better face sculpts, some accessories, and alt mode and robot mode that look close-ish. What do they think the price point's going to be now? $20 for them. Is that going to be? Would that be enough to say that you're in between? Because you're talking now probably $20 for the deluxes, and even now, like the current leaders are $50, while MP releases usually run for the car bots anyway around 100, 110ish. You're bridging that gap, slowly closing anyway, where people are willing to pay more to get more. So you guys already said, I believe, that you think that might be enough for you to be the in between.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Like I already collect Masterpiece and I already collect Chug, so I don't want to collect another in between line. That would be weird.
And that was going to be my next question: is that even if there was, say, a 60 to 70 price point for a nice in between figure, whatever that might look like, would anybody even want to start a new collection of that price point? Because I don't think I would want to, but I'm not everybody. I'm nobody.
Well, in a way, they just did. They've already done it. Look at what this Cyberverse is. That's our low end. And then we have Masterpiece, and now we're going to have Siege.
Oh, true.
So they've kind of led us by the nose up to the higher end and left the quote-unquote kids for the Cyberverse stuff, for the entry-level stuff now.
Exactly. So guess what? They did it.
Rescue
and we're doing it.
Still exists too.
That's true. And I've got a 4-year-old, so I bought some rescue bots, and they're actually not that bad, all things considered. But yeah, I didn't even consider that we sort of were quote-unquote tricked into this higher price point anyway, and now we're all looking at these pictures like anybody that's sort of in on Hasbro stuff anyway is looking at this stuff and saying like, oh man, these things look awesome, this step in the right direction. Now, if you're not a Hasbro fan, these things aren't going to sway you. But, even non-Hasbro fans, it's still, I've heard say like, I'm not going to buy it, but this looks a lot better than what they've put out. So, yeah, that's a good point. So we're kind of brought there whether we like it the hell or not. So does that leave room for Studio Series to continue to exist?
Yeah, because they're totally different. A lot of people they've been raised on the movies, so they really love the Studio Series because they're like maybe 7, 8 years old when the movies came out and whatnot.
Ain't that some shit?
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit? Some people saying that they remember seeing the first Transformers movie in theaters when they were just a little kid. And I'm like, oh, you're talking about the animated from '86? Like, no, the 07. I'm like, fuck. How old am I again?
And that was 11 years ago.
Damn youngsters.
So now they finally have jobs and they can buy their own toys.
And that's where the Studio Series comes in, and that's their in-between, I guess. Their step towards Masterpiece.
This is the figure I should have got, that Dad should have gotten me.
Yeah.
Until you get that
Optimus look like trash.
You get that Bumblebee and half the damn thing falls off.
Yes.
Without having to fix it. So that's cool. We have a second question from Eyes Covered, and he says, or she, what franchises would you like to see get the third-party treatment, non-Transformers? And that's a good question.
Can you repeat that?
What franchises would you like to see get the third-party treatment, not Transformers, some other franchise, something else, some other collection that's going to get the unofficial treatment?
Ninja Turtles. So they've already had a few, but I would like something closer to the 6-inch third party. Like if I can get a good shredder, since Figuarts is dragging their feet, I would love that.
And what happened to that Krang? I mean, it came out, and then what else happened? What else did they do? Did they follow up with anything else?
They did a shredder, but it was huge.
Okay.
So I guess you could pretend he's Super Shredder, but he doesn't scale with those SH figure arts because he's almost as tall as Krang. And
Well,
he
the
has a
turtles could just
weird
be short.
sculpt. I didn't hear you.
The turtles could just be short.
Sure. I know they're supposed to be like 5'2" or something like that, but he's towering over them. Like,
How about you,
Good night,
Scream?
Nathan. If I was going to go for a cool line to get the third party treatment, I think a 3.75 GI Joe. That would be pretty neat.
There's a world of possibility there too.
Getting a, unnamed troopers, the side armies, and then the vehicles. I mean, that's where the third party love would really get into. Would be the vehicles. I mean, you got companies like Virtue and Hacks, which makes some solid 3.75. I don't collect them myself, but I know a lot of people who like them. But really throw the love into the vehicles. I mean, if we get the third party love that we get for $120 Optimus Prime into something like, the cycles, the cars, the little mini tanks, I think that would be a really cool market.
Yeah, especially troop building, man. You just buy the same thing over and over again, and that's the way to make your money off. And then you can make all the other cool stuff.
I mean, we could have other factions. We could have other armies. That it could be the fiction would be easy. And if a third
Articulated Icons kind of did some third party 6-inch GI Joes with.
Well, they did the Storm Shadow. They did Storm Shadow, and they did with Solid, and they did the White Ninja, and then they had Solitaire, which people turned into Snake Eyes.
Those the releases that came with the pieces to make them look the part, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And then people would paint them a little more, add the symbols on them. But I think honestly, with the 3.75, again, if you look up the Virtue and Hacks, they do some neat stuff. So if those guys did military, and then a third party did vehicles for them, well, look at Acid Storm. They're actually doing that.
That Acid Storm looks good. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of the Vitruvian Hacks. What's his name? Oh my God! Now I feel crazy. Cincy Nerd in the Syndicate. He bought some, and Josh Pence. That's his name. Sorry, Josh. I know you're probably never gonna watch this, but if you do watch it somehow, your name slipped my mind. But he did a bunch of reviews on them. I like how you can open the card off the bubble, and you can repack them if you want to, and still have it looking like it's carded. That's awesome.
I think a lot of collector grade stuff is missing that. Yes. That needs to happen more often, for sure.
Definitely. Hasbro needs to look into that, but they'll charge us probably $30 for a 3-inch figure.
Then you'll see everybody return their old figures like they're doing now with the Marvel Legends stuff. Yeah. The repacks with the 30-year-old or 15-year-old figures just shoved in there and get your money back.
With busted rubber bands and everything in their guts.
I've got two answers, actually. One of them is already happening. And I'll go back to the Dragon Ball stuff again. There's already third-party Dragon Ball stuff because, I mean, anybody that's familiar with Dragon Ball, there is a shit ton of characters that they haven't even... I mean, Figure Arts can give us 11 Gokus, but they can't give us one Captain Ginyu, or the Ginyu Force. So I know there's a third-party company that started out doing add-on kits to the existing figures.
That's how it starts.
Yep, like you can get a Super Saiyan Blue add-on head to your Vegeta and Goku, and they're also having pre-orders up for Captain Ginyu. They're starting with, and I think they're doing some random Frieza Force soldiers. Forgive me if I'm missing a name on one of them, but I know Ginyu's up for order because Joe actually has it on pre-order. Joe's actually coming next week as our new host, one of our hosts. Plug him there. So look forward to that. But he's a big Dragon Ball fan. He keeps me apprised of the third-party scene there. So that's already off and running, much like the Ninja Turtle stuff is. My other answer is Nintendo. Like, there is some slow going, and I don't, I assume Nintendo would probably go after, legally like crazy. But in a world where I can wish for anything I want, oh man, like there's
retro
so
gaming
much stuff. Yeah, like just think you could have I mean, it's literally limitless of the kind of third party crap they could come up with for retro games, Nintendo, all that stuff. I mean, look at the Sonic that you really like that you got from GameStop. Just think if you had a Knuckles and a Tails and a Dr. Robotnik and all that you could go with that scaled with them. I mean,
I would definitely like all of the Koopalings. World of Nintendo should have been did the Koopalings like a long time ago. They had one coming out, but I've never ever seen it. Like stores aren't even holding World of Nintendo anymore.
And that's where I think the third party needs to step in for stuff like that. I mean, clearly the people out there have the monies to give. I mean, you and I are cheap as hell, but we're saying, like, we want to spend the money with you. We want to give you money for the Koopa Kids. Like, let's, you know. So that's, I don't know. Like, it just seems like there's a bunch of odd gaps that could be filled. I mean, Chris, you want to talk about Mega Man and all the Robot Masters they could be doing from here to the end of time. You know, plus all the different powered up versions of Mega Man that you could do. Man, I don't know. Like,
they haven't done.
Now that you got me thinking, I mean, now you got me thinking. I'm thinking like almost like old school anime would be pretty cool too. One guy in the room mentioned Space Battleship Yamato, but I'm thinking things like I would kill. I've been saying this for the last 20 years. I would kill for some proper Bubblegum Crisis action figures. If you've ever seen that, but
it's on my list.
But things from that era of anime, you know, high articulated, not just BGC, but a really good Vampire Hunter D.
Cowboy Bebop. Do they have Cowboy Bebop figures?
That Figma did that. I'm talking like another 10 years before that. Old anime. I mean, we're getting Fist of the North Star from Storm, but kind of from that era.
Is Joe in our comment?
Say it again.
Yes, Joe is in our.
Is he our Joe?
I don't know if it's our Joe.
I don't have it pulled up, so I couldn't tell you offhand.
Evil. Somebody said Resident Evil figures. I remember we used to have them in the 90s. I collected some of them for my brothers.
I think McFarlane made some.
Yeah, wasn't it the same? Because we had the Movie Maniacs line from way back too. Remember those with all the serial killers from the horror movies? I had a bunch of those, and then I remember I had the Tyrant and what was his name, Birkin, with the eyeball on his shoulder and the giant hand. Yeah. Those things, I probably still have those in my parents' house in storage. I ought to dig them out because I need one more fucking thing to display.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we need upgraded version. We need our Chris and Jill and Wesker and on and on and on. That's a good point.
Sheva, definitely.
Just Capcom. How about just Capcom? You mentioned Nintendo. Capcom.
Sure.
There's just so much money on the table from some of this stuff that we're all like, I mean, we're here spending left and right and still saying like, come on guys, give me the figures. Like, there's still so much more we want to get.
Then when they come out, we can't get them because we're collecting too much other stuff.
Yeah, and then there's mass selling off of stuff, and the cycle continues.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that was good. Let's see if there's anything else. Let's talk about the first 10 years Marvel Legends real quick. I know T's been on these pretty good. I've seen a few in the stores here and there. You guys' feelings? You guys seeing them in the stores? You guys looking for them? Talk.
I haven't seen the ones that have been coming out in Target, like the Hulkbuster and Hulk, which I don't need because I have the original ones. And I don't think, I think Hulk has a different face. Is that true?
Yes. I was going to mention that.
Now, Thanos, I still haven't got the Build-A-Figure because I don't want to collect any of them. A bunch of them from that wave. But now I'm seeing in that 3-pack, he has 2 awesome faces that he should have came with in the regular releases. That's
2 faces and 2 hands for the glove. It ticked me off.
And Iron Man's chest lights up like the Japanese, like the cheap Chinese knockoffs.
Is it the same cheap Chinese knockoff company that did the Iron Spider with the extra legs?
Yeah.
I saw pictures. I saw pictures of that. I thought, man, that thing's awesome. The only thing it didn't have was, I think it didn't have good ankle articulation, but everything else was spot on.
No ab crunch.
Oh, it doesn't have ab crunch. Okay.
Or I don't even think it has a waist.
Crunch. There's no ab crunch, no thigh rotation, no ankle movement. I'm not even sure if the knees bent.
I think they did, but I don't know.
I'd want to find one of those, rip the arms off the back, and drill a hole in my regular one and put them on them.
Yeah, I know a lot of people probably gonna do that. But the packaging looks nice.
Oh, the packaging's gorgeous on them. Actually, it's with a few ones. North Carolina actually has a decent distribution. I was at a Think Geek today, and I saw the 2-packs and the 3-packs. Saw the Red Skull. I do. But the thing is, a lot of these figures, I start looking at them, I realize maybe I don't want them. The Ronin, I mean, his articulation's shot. The 2-pack with the Hulkbuster, that Hulk, I'm sorry, it's ugly. It's got the rage face and the big veins going through it. And it's like, I would buy it if it was actually just smooth green. Because then at least it looked a little, I would love to have the Hulk that didn't have the A pants on, the spandex Avengers pants. The Hulkbuster looked beautiful, though. I do want to get the Mark 7 Iron Man, though, because it's got the moving vents on the shoulders.
Did you see Sardimus's issues with that figure?
I didn't.
The feet were on the wrong legs. He had so many problems, but he was still saying he loved it. It was so funny.
I'm seeing some serious QC issues with this line, though. The Red Skull, though, I would love to get myself 2 Red Skulls and somehow get my hands on the SDCC one. To have a proper Hydra Troops. But I'm seeing them out there. It's one of the few times I'm seeing very good distribution. Target's getting them, and they're getting them on the shelves. Think Geek is getting them, and they're getting them on the shelves.
GameStop?
Yeah.
But GameStop seems to have like one figure at a time, one box at a time, which is weird.
They can only get one case. They don't have a storeroom.
Yeah, I don't think they're not even getting a whole case. They're just getting one Thor and Sif pack, one Yellow Jacket pack, and so on.
They can only get one case, put them on the shelves, because they can't get 3 cases. They have no room in the back for them. A buddy of mine works at a GameStop. They have no storage space.
True.
Then you get that.
I just found out that they had to scan everything from top to bottom every single day.
Yep.
That's scary.
I didn't know that.
And the fact is, though, that GameStops and Think Geeks are still about 5% more than regular floor retail.
Sure. No, some of the 2-packs have been retail price, which I'm shocked about.
Well, that 25%.
Like even Red Skull was retail price.
All right. Let me see if I have anything else. Do you guys have anything else you want to cover or talk about?
I know you were, Steve. I knew you were there, Steve. Sorry. I'm trying to think anything else big. I mean, we mentioned the Storm. We mentioned Reveltech. We mentioned Mafex. Bandai didn't have anything at Wonderfest because they put everything out at the Comic-Cons and their own Tamashii show.
And yeah, they have the Dragon Ball going on right now.
Who's going to go see Transformers in September?
Yeah, good point. So the original '86 movie is being re-released September 27th. Is that right?
After we get off of this, I need to send a PTO request to my boss so I can be off that day. I don't know if here's a horror story from my childhood. My mom, when the original movie came out, I was staying the whole summer at my grandmother's house. So my mom went to my grandmother's house to get me to take me to the movie. We were going from one side of Baltimore all the way to the opposite side, past and beyond to the county. We caught buses out there. It took like 2 hours to get out there. Then when we got there, they said it was sold out. And I'm 8 years old. I'm like, what does sold out mean? I'm like, so we can't go in? Like, no. Like, I'm like, so we're just leaving? What the heck? I didn't get a consolation transform on the way home. And then
Damn.
we caught a cab back to my grandmother's house. And I'm like, why didn't we catch the cab to the movies? So I never saw the movie in theaters, and I had to live vicariously off of the memory of everybody else telling me what happened in the movies, which some of it was lies. And then I didn't see it until it came on TV, and Transformers was airing at like 5:30, 6 o'clock on Saturday morning, split into half-hour episodes. So I had to wake up 6 in the morning for 5 weekends back to back. That was annoying.
My older brother worked in a movie theater, and so I got to see that for free. He was an usher. And it was one of those times that my mom dropped me off, and my brother pretty much just shoved me back there, but I was like the only kid in the theater. So I'm sitting there shouting at the top of my lungs. And then, of course, the fateful moment came that I was bawling my eyes out. I mean, my brother almost had to check up on me when he heard me crying in there. I said, when I watch Starscream crumble, that still gets me right here.
Oh. I thought you meant Optimus.
Forget him. He got what was coming to him.
Yeah, I wanted...
All this time, he finally became leader. You're putting in all the hard work and the ambition. Just gone. Like tears in the rain.
I wanted some characters to die because they were getting off scot-free on the regular cartoons. So I was like, this is realistic. So when I heard people were going to be dying, I was so excited. But then years later, when I finally got to see the movie, I actually felt sad because I was like, all these people are gone and they're not on a cartoon anymore. It's like once Starscream dies, that's the end of G1 to me, to be honest. They should have called Season 3 Generation 2, to be honest. Or something else like Japan did.
I mean, I'm just sitting there like, okay, they kill Wheeljack, they kill Ratchet, they kill Ironhide, yet Sea Spray still gets to go, and Powerglide get to go free.
Because of their lovely voices.
And
Warpath. Bam!
Matt's having... His PC is dying on us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought he just was showing us his room.
Nice room.
It certainly is.
I mean, we got to keep talking until he gets back, because we can't. He's got the buttons.
Oh yeah, he has to turn it off.
Any more questions for the room? And for those of you who are listening, if you sub to us on YouTube, you too can join the room. And if you're in the room, please give us a like. And Matt's letting us know when we're ready to wrap. So, hey, T-Man, anything else you'd like to say?
Nah, I don't have anything else to say. Is he about to shut it off?
He's trying to shut it down now. So I'm gonna go ahead and give us. I'm gonna go ahead and give us the wrap up. On behalf of Matt Partsformer, I'm sure he says thank you. Tim K, thank you very much for joining us. He's got some awesome stuff on Instagram. Myself, of course, I am on Instagram at True Star Screamer, at PSN, at True Star Screamer.
TRU.
TRU, yes, that is TRUSTREA, yes, True Screamer, True Star Screamer. And joining me is, of course, the man, the myth, the T-Man 978.
Yep. And I'm at T-Man 978 all one word. So you just search T-Man 978 and you'll find me. Thank y'all for joining us.
And until next time, we'll catch you later. See ya.
See ya.
So anyway, the way the joke went, there's this guy and there's a nun, a priest, a rich man, and they are all at the horse races.
Mm-hmm.
And it is raining. It is totally the vision is, and but the race is starting. The mud is everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Is it still live?
I'm back. Yeah, you're still alive. Sorry, my PC's like, oh, Jesus Christ. It totally took a shit.
We told everybody bye already.
Okay. Well, everybody, that was that. If you're still here, thank you. If you're not still here, then you don't care. If you guys said goodbye, I will say goodbye as well. Did you guys thank Tim?
We thank Tim.
Yeah.
All right. Then that's episode 5 in the books. Two no shows.
Editing is going to be needed.
2 no shows and 1 sick Triceratops. Okay, guys. I will see you guys next week. Thanks for stopping by.
Okay, now.